What's up, people? Nitro Nation, newbies, middies, and oldies but goodies, like the Muggy Maniac. Welcome, everybody, back to another segment of In the Mind and Thought Process of a Sick in the Head Nitro freaking mad scientist. I don't know. I'm just thinking of changing from Muggy Maniac to maybe Nitro Mad Scientist, or maybe can't use Nitro Maniac. I think Mr. Bodegel, his brother-in-law, I forgot his name. I think he's the Nitro Maniac guy. But I guess I'll stick to Muggy Maniac. Wasn't gonna do a video tonight. Really tired. Had a long week. Although I am pretty much kind of getting prepared to do some serious fuel consumption tomorrow. Not me, vehicles. But the only thing is, you know, I know this the modified 28.8 Pico is next on deck, as far as in the order of me continuing the break-in cycle of my modified motors. But I really, man, there's been a lot of chitter, whatever you want to call it. I'm getting a lot of comments on the last video I did, questions on the Novarossi 28.8. You know, now I don't want to toot my horn and say that I'm an expert on the 28.8, but I guess it's my first real motor, my first modded motor, and you know, I love this motor, man. This motor, like I say, and I'll say it again, buck for buck, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, best motor on the market. Unfortunately, not the biggest motor. I have like dreams every night, well, not like every night, but that Novarossi is going to someday, before I die, are going to make a Rex, well, they won't call it a Rex Legend. How about we call it a Supernova? Or a Mega Legend. Maybe I should email to Novarossi in Italy. Mrs. Novarossi, the one that's unfortunately running the company. Yeah, I would call it the Novarossi Next Legend, or the Novarossi Supernova. .32 8-port badass. And if they come out with that, LRP, as much as I think that they're a good, I mean, I can't lie to you and say that's a great motor, because if I say that's a great motor, I would be lying to you. Is it the biggest motor? Sure, I'll give it that. It is the biggest motor. Is it the best quality motor? Hell no. I think this OS is probably a better quality than that LRP. Okay, so quality versus quantity. I'm the quality guy, okay? That's what I do in the company that I work for, aerospace. We do, you know, military stuff, shit, plane shit, missile shit, every type of metal you can think of, man. It's all about quality. This is quantity, quality. So this is the biggest motor, yes. Quality-wise, this is the best motor, because it's Italian, made by Novarossi. This motor is made by OS, which means this company here, OS, is making LRP motors. So that means that this motor is a rice burner. This is Italian. That's the best way that I can give you an analogy. You guys know the Muggy Maniac. I like doing the analogies, because basically an analogy or metaphor, so you can understand in layman's term, down to whatever level you're at, of what I'm talking about. Okay, this is a Ferrari Testarossa. This is a frickin' Bugatti. Okay, all right. This here though, right here, All right, this is a you know, I don't know, a Lexus maybe. We'll say it's a Lexus. That's good enough. This is a really nice Lexus, but this is a Bugatti. Now this Lexus has a little bit more power, but this Bugatti will last way longer than that, and be a lot less maintenance, a lot of less messing with or anything. This one, a little bit more work. You know, you got to change the damn carburetor just to get the thing to run the way, to run even close to this. And by the way, when you have to pull the carburetor off of this thing to make this thing, well, you got to give credit due where credit due. Nova Rossi, hands down, has designed, up to this point, the best nitro carburetor, period. End of story. No discussion, no argument. Best carburetor in nitro. That's why I said, I'm going to try to see if I can get this carburetor fit on every motor I got. Even my Reds, and the Red has a good carburetor on it because, you know, it's pretty much a Nova Rossi type of technology, with Mario being that his dad was the guy that started Nova Rossi. Mario Nova Rossi, the owner, founder, whatever, of Reds, is the son of Cesar Nova Rossi, which is, God rest his soul, the founder of Nova Rossi. But, remember, like I said, this motor, Mario doesn't make these motors. He doesn't even design them. He just assembles them, puts them together. These motors are made by OS. I already told you guys that. Okay, I mean, I'm sorry, OS. What am I talking about? These motors are made by Pico, which is an Italian company. So, my last video, I remember I said there was only 2 manufacturers of nitro motors today of quality. Well, you know, the big ones, okay? OS makes their own motors, Pico's makes their own motors, and Nova Rossi. Those are the 3. I said 2. I caught that when I watched my video. So, let me rephrase that and correct myself. 3 companies make all the nitro motors, pretty much. OS, Pico, Nova Rossi. So you might want to get one of those 3, because those are the ones that are making them anyway. So, or you can just get an LRP, which is made by OS, but somehow OS or LRP managed to, excuse my language, fuck that up. Because I have taken apart OSs and I've never seen porting as bad as an LRPs. So anyway, I'm not gonna. I had a video, and if anybody, I think I might have erased a lot of my videos because when I changed this phone, something happened. I don't know how that happened, but I might have to, when I get this motor, I've already done it, but what I'll do, well, who knows, before I send it off, because, you know, I'm going to send this motor, one of the motors that I'm sending away, but it's not going to be for a couple weeks still. I got too much other stuff that's more important than getting these motors modded right now. So, what I might do soon here is I might open that motor up and show you guys what I'm talking about as far as the quality, or the lack of quality that LRP puts in their motors. And when you see the work, and I'll compare it to a Nova Rossi. I won't even use my modified Nova Rossi. I'll use the, you know, this one here that's got 2 gallons through it in stock. And I'll show you the quality difference. And this one's not modded stock, okay? So, anyway, it's going to be nice and clear tomorrow. I mean, but it's Southern California, so who knows, it could rain tonight, just like it rained last night. It wasn't supposed to. But to get back to what we're talking about, I do know 28.8's pretty good. I've tuned them, I've broken them in, I've got them mod, I've got them stocked, I've got 3, got another one coming, and I'm going to have like 4. Somebody said one time, hey, Muggy Maniac, how many damn Nova Rossi 28.8s can you have? And you know what I said? Not enough. Because it's the best motor that's out there. And like I said again, LRP is a bigger motor, but it's not the best motor. Best motor meaning all around. Easy to tune, easy to maintain, stays in tune, holds an idle, purrs like a kitten. Don't have to change a thing. Right out of the box, break that sucker in, go through the break-in process, okay? And you guys in the next few weeks will, it'll be a while because I'm going to have to wait till I get the motors back. But soon we'll do videos again. You know, and there's tons of videos out there, so you don't even need me to do any videos. Go watch John's old videos. He does tons of break-ins. John Bodegel has more break-in experience than most guys out there. Anyone that I know. So, anyway, yeah, 28.8 right out of the box. Break it in, run it, get it attuned, and as it gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, man, every time you run that thing. I love that motor, man. And most Italians do. The Pico, same way, man. This thing, I have a feeling that tomorrow when I run this Pico, this thing's going to get stronger. Because it still doesn't even have a gallon through it. Okay? Barely, maybe a gallon. Maybe. Okay? The same thing with the modified 28.8 Rex Legend over there. That's modded by RB Mods, by Rick. That thing is going to get stronger and stronger many more times because it doesn't have 2 gallons. And until you get 2 gallons of fuel through these Italian motors, stock or modified, they haven't reached their peak. That's just the way it is. A lot of motor modifiers told me that. Rick especially told me, hey, all Italian motors, until you get at least 2 gallons of fuel through them, that's when they're nice and broken in. The sleeve is seated to the piston. It's nice and marinated. Fires up every time. First bump. Tune, stays in tune, and all that. So, anyway, yeah, it's just all, you know, the LRP 0.32, when you buy it, man, first of all, before you do anything, you got to get a carburetor. Because that carburetor, the X-Tech, is a piece of shit. And those of you that get Novarossis, you know, I thought I was a good tuner too. Because this thing doesn't take anybody to tune. You know, a 10-year-old kid can tune this motor. That's why this motor is great for a newbie. No, this is not, I don't recommend this to a newbie. This is for somebody that has, you know, a lot more experience in nitro motors. Because this motor will frustrate you. So if you're new and you're watching and you're less than a year in nitro, do yourself a favor just because everybody, oh, it's the biggest motor. Bigger isn't better all the time. This motor is a lot more work. Now, if you're up to the challenge, first you got to change the carburetor. After you spend $200 on it, that's another $100. So there's $300 right there. And that's if you keep it stock. Okay? This motor, $190 delivered to your door. You don't have to do anything but break this thing in and it's good to go if you're going to keep it stock. Get it modified, another $100 or whatever. This motor, another $100 to modify it. So now you're $400 in. So for $400, is it worth spending $400 to get this motor to where it needs to be? Yes. But bang for buck, dollar for dollar? No. Thumbs down. This one, bang for bang, buck for buck, dollar for dollar, best value, good motor, thumbs up. That motor. So if you're new, eeny, meeny, you get this one if you're smart. Now, like I said, if you want a challenge and you want to spend the money, you got the pockets, go for it. But remember, don't try to tune this thing with the piece of shit X-Tech carb that comes on it. Okay? It's garbage. I don't even know why I kept the one. Probably just to show people. You know? And I rebuilt this thing. Took it apart. Buffed it out. Polished it. Smoothed out the... I mean, I did everything that I could possibly think to make this thing to where it you know, was nice and smooth. Still a piece of shit. It's like, you know, you're putting lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig. No good. No bueno. So, you want the $400 or the $300 and you want a good motor, there you go. There's your $300 .32 right there. Well, but people, what are you talking about? It's only $179.99 or whatever they mean. Yeah, but you got to put a carburetor on it if you want it to run right. The carburetors that come on it are garbage. So if you thought you're Mr. I got tuning down because you had one of these, well, let me tell you, get one of those and don't put an Novarossi carburetor on it. And then talk to me. This is easy. Anybody can tune this because it doesn't take anything to tune it. These things tune themselves pretty much. That's why I love these motors and they're great. You know, they're less headaches. These are perfect for new people, man. A new guy that doesn't want to get, you know, frustrated on the tuning part of the nitro, which is why some people quit. There you go. There's your motor. This one, if you don't put a carburetor, a Novarossi carburetor on it, it's a tuning nightmare. And it's still not the quality. That is way better quality. This motor will last you for... I've had this This 28, even though I haven't put a lot of fuel through it, I've had this motor stock for almost 4 years. And I'll have it probably for another 4 years. They last forever. The LRP, I don't know how long they last because I haven't had one long enough. So a guy made a comment. He said, my brother has a modified 28.8 Rex Legend. I have a stock LRP 32. We dragged, I beat him. Blah, 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 blah. First off, if either somebody doesn't know how to drive, meaning if your brother doesn't, that's why you spanked him. But if you're trying to tell me that that LRP stock .32 is more powerful than a modified 28.8, the next thing I would tell you is whoever modified that 28.8, need to fire him or need to find somebody else. Okay? I have both of those motors. I have a stock LRP .32 right here that I ran, and I have a modified 28.8 Rex Legend. And I will tell you, and you don't even have to take my word. Like I tell you guys, my word isn't everything. I'm not, you know, the final say-so of nitro. All I can tell you is that I'm deep, deep, deep in the thick of 8-scale nitro at the moment as far as what's up to date. Platforms that are top-notch, Technos, Mugans. I mean, I'm not dealing with, you know, Traxxas crumbs, and I'm not dealing with even Kyosho RTRs, which if you're going to get a Kyosho, you're getting the wrong experience with an RTR. It's good for a newbie. But if you really want the full effect of a Kyosho quality platform, you're going to spend about $800. Just the roller. By the time it's done, you're going to put about $2,000 into it. Easy. It's one of the vehicles that I want as far as their buggies. The MP9, well, they have an MP10 out now. But it's coin, man. I got a lot of other things I can drop $800 in than a platform, which I still probably got to put another $800 into it when it's said and done. Minimum. But it's something that is on my bucket list. A Kyosho buggy is something that I want in my collection because I know it's one of the best quality 8-scale nitro buggies, period. Okay, it might not be winning all the races, although Elliott Boots doesn't do too bad. You know, him and with the Reds combo in there, he's consistent, man, in the world. Top 10, okay? You know, but anybody that knows anything about RC, Kyosho is legendary as Adam Drake. They've been around and they've got more IFMARs and ROARs and world champions than any RC manufacturer on the planet. Period. End of discussion. No question. Okay, so it is something that I do want. I get another buggy. It's not going to be the next one I get, but it is going to be one I eventually have. I just have to have it because it's the best nitro. You know, their top-notch Kyosho buggies, nitro 8-scale, are the best. Period. And if you really look at one and had a chance to look at one in person and check it out, man, it's a work of art, man. Gives me goosebumps just thinking about it, man. That's how much I love this hobby, man. Talking about this stuff, when you stop getting pumped up about talking about nitro, like when people ask me questions and I, you know, not just on the tube and email or texting, but, you know, in general, friends of mine, you know, at work and stuff, oh, what do you do? This is what I do. Oh, really? You do this? And, oh, wow, I have this one vehicle, but I go, is it electric or nitro? It's electric? I said, oh, get rid of it. If you want to run a real vehicle, something that really is real and breathes real fuel and lives, and it's a real working, you know, piece of machinery, get into nitro. But you gotta have patience. But anyway, that level that I'm trying I'm trying, like I said before, I'm trying to take all that I learned from guys like John and guys like Adam Drake and, you know, guys like Raja. You know, if you want to know about racing, more about racing setup and racing stuff, get on Raja's channel. If you want to know about or want to, you know, or have questions about 8-scale nitro chuggy and buggy bashing, this is where it's at. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about racing. Now, I will refer to racing every once in a while because I am race inspired. I want to take what these guys are racing and what the top motors and platforms and tires and everything that these pros use and race to be the best in the world. I want to take that and transfer it into bashing. Why not? You can't take bashing and transfer it into racing. We already know that doesn't work. Ask Raja about that. He tried to run a modified motor on a track. That thing was everywhere. It's too much. You can't. That's why .21s don't do a lot for me. If I was racing, we'd be probably talking about more .21s. Now, it doesn't mean they're not bad motors. They're just not where the level that I'm at. I mean, and if I get any .21s, they gotta. This is the benchmark. A modified, badass reds. Okay? There's guys that run reds out there and guys that say other .21s are better, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but have you ran a modified one? What I want to do, and shout out to Roger 111. He's keeping on the circuit. You know, him and me are probably the only two guys that are doing any 8-scale nitro videos of anything right now. Everybody else is asleep, dormant, hibernating. You know, we know John's trying to do everything, and he's, you know, his attention is mostly on 5th scale and his crawlers and drag racing. John is just not really involved in 8-scale nitro right now. Does that mean he doesn't know what he's doing or talking about, or you can't ask him questions? No. Does that mean he doesn't care about it? No. It just means that he has other things that are his priority. 8-scale nitro isn't his priority right now. This is all that I do. I'm not trying to do all these other things and all these other projects. This is enough for me. So, until I get all that I want out of this, and there's a lot more that I want, man. I want twice as much as what John has in nitro at twice the next, at a different level that even John's at. Okay? I'm talking, you know, at least, I've got 4, at least we'll say 6, at least 2 more, a buggy and a truggy, top-notch platforms, race kits, set up for bashing in the cave, like I said, dozen modified motors, dozen pipes, and everything else that comes with it. Badlands stacked in the walls, you know what I mean? I've got a long way to go. I guarantee you that I'm going to drop $5,000 to $10,000 in nitro this year. I don't know how much I spent last year. I probably spent at least 5 in a handful of months. I will spend 5 to 10 grand this year, guaranteed. Okay, so it's just, like I said, I gotta do my homework and my research and be smart about where I'm putting my dollars. I'm not just going out and buying stuff, you know, just to have it. I'm buying stuff because I'm gonna use it, and you know, I want to get used to it, you know. So anyway, the Novarossi 28.8. Okay, ask John. I forgot the guy's name that made the comment that he raced his brother, and his .32 in a drag race beat his brother's modified 28.8. Well, like I said, the only way that happened is because your brother's a horrible driver. You cheated, which means you left too early, which it's not the case. I'm just throwing my 2 cents on that one. Or the guy that modified your brother's 28.8 doesn't know what he's doing. John even made a comment when I was breaking him LRP .32, because he has both stock and mod. A lot more than I do. And he told me, he goes, just remember, that modified 28.8 Rex Legend will spank that stock LRP 32's ass. Period. Okay? But once you get the LRP .32 modified, it will spank the modified 28.8's ass. Period. And I agree. Okay? That's why when I get this LRP .32, and I already got the modified, I'm going to have another modified, I'm going to have 2 modified 28.8s. I want to do the comparison too. And I believe what John says. John has more of them and more experience than anybody on my channel or anybody that I know. So when he told me that, I take his word as you know, as gold, because he knows. And I believe him. Stock LRP 32 will not beat a modified 28.8. If it does, whoever modified that 28.8 doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Or the guy racing that thing doesn't know how to drive, because this is never happening. And I guarantee you, if somebody brought a stock LRP 32 and wanted to drag me against my Novarossi 28.8, I would spank his ass. period. And you know, the guy said he had a 14 tooth. Well, let me tell you another thing. When it comes to modified motors, that's what I'm saying. It's a whole different thing. Clutches change, springs change, shoes fit. It doesn't matter if you run a 14 tooth. What kind of shoes are you running? Are you running half composite, half aluminum? Are you running all aluminum? Or are you running all composite? Are you running light springs, medium springs, which is an 0.1 or an 0.02? You know, whatever the, you know, the measurements on the springs. But what I'm saying, light, medium, heavy, what? Okay, John also said, and I'll quote what John said, when you're running modified motors, do not run heavy springs. You're gonna burn your clutches up crazy. Sure, it's good for shits and giggles. Your front end will pull up all over the place. But, you know, I mean, if you want to waste clutch shoes, then that's fine. But and it's not even hooking up. If you want it to hook up, use lighter springs with modified motors. Use the heavy springs, and I agree with them because I've experienced that. Use the heavy springs on the stock motors because the stock motor needs the help. If you understand how clutches work and centrifugal force and rotating mass and how the clutches, you know, disengage and, you know, when they're rotating, then you understand that. If not, you might want to do some research. I'll tell you, there's a video, RC clutches, go to RC Nerd. Even though I unsubscribed to the guy because he's too busy battling out with some guy and his videos are all smoke and mirrors, and I'm not into watching people that's got all these special effects and special me. Fuck all that, excuse my language. I want somebody that just, like me, I'm not doing all that. I'm just keeping it real, 100% facts and raw. We'll call this Friday Night Raw in the Muggy Maniac's Cave. Every Friday I'm going to do a video. We're going to call it Fun Fact Friday. And now here's your fun fact. A stock LRP 32 will not beat a modified 28.8 that's modified right. If the modifier is not that good of a modifier, well, then maybe that might be the case. But a modified, okay, just in, for all you people out, this is not just me, ask the professor, Mr. John Bodegel, because he told me himself, a stock LRP 32 will not beat a modified Novarossi 28.8 Rex Legend, period, end of discussion. Okay, so maybe, like I said, that he didn't have the right clutch set up or whatever. You know, a lot of it is in your clutch. You can have a badass modified motor, but if your clutch ain't set up right, if your diff lube's not right, then it ain't going to do anything for you. You got to have all that set up, man. Maybe I'll do another video of what the setups that I run and what I'm getting most out of the 28.8 modified Pico, the 28.8 modified Rex Legend, you know, even the modified .21 Reds, and when I get the LRP 32. Standard in the truggy, you want to run 100,000 in the middle, 50 on the rear, 50 on the front. I ran 80 in the middle, 40-40. I've also ran, you might want to run, if you're really hooking up, 120 in the middle, 60 in the front, 60 in the rear. Now keep in mind, you're putting extra stress on your diffs too, so you might wear more diffs, gears out, and so forth. So there we have it. Quality, quantity. Quality versus quantity. Quality, quantity. Still not too much different as far as quantity. There is a difference. So there you have it. This motor modified will spank this ass over here stock. Okay? But this one here, once it gets modified, it'll be spanking this one's ass. Okay? But let me point out, when this motor is all said and done, however many gallons later, this one here will still be ripping ass. This motor will outlast this motor, period, because of the quality. Way better quality, workmanship, everything. Easier to tune, easier to stay in tune, all that. Okay? Once you put the carburetor on here, you know, you will get the same pretty much tune. But, I mean, these carburetors weren't made for this motor, even though they do work. I mean, remember, I forgot another fun fact. Before you put the carburetor on, you got to mill a millimeter off of it, or it's not going to fit. The Novarossi carburetor will not fit on here unless you either put 2 of the rings, O-rings, which are the little rubber spacers. You can put 2 of those in there, which will work too. But you have you're risking air leaks. Or you do, you know, what we all do, is you take a millimeter, shave a millimeter off of the Novarossi carburetor, and it fits right on there. So anyway, that's about that. I had another guy, oh yeah, and like I said, don't get fooled and think that you get an Novarossi 20.8 and you learn to tune it and you're Mr. Tuner. You need to learn to tune a lot, because that's the easiest motor to turn. You want a challenge? Leave the stock carburetor on the LRP .32 and try to tune it. You're not going to get it tuned. Not the right way. You want a challenge? Get a Reds. The Reds. They're not as easy to tune. Not hard, but it takes a little bit more. This Pico isn't easy to tune either. Picos are not easy to tune. They're not complicated, but they're not even as easy and smooth as an Novarossi. That's why I'm saying I've had a little bit more run sessions with this motor, because it's taken me a little bit more time and running to tune it. It just needs these 28.8 Picos. 28.7 Picos, they need a lot of fuel. You've almost got to get close to 2 gallons of fuel through this thing to where this thing actually wants to, you know, be a lot smoother in the tuning and all that. It's just this motor has got a gallon through it, you know, pretty much, and it's still like brand new. This thing's still the pinch in it. If you even touch the bottom of the cylinder wall, it sticks. That's how tight it is. And I've got over a gallon through it now, and it's still tighter than hell. But you know what that means? That means this motor's going to last a long time too. So anyway, anything else I didn't cover? That's about it. You know, a couple other guys, you know, if you're new, welcome to the channel. Sorry there's a lot of other guys doing A-scale nitro current stuff right now. Raja, like I said, if you were the guy that's going to do a little bit of club racing or wanting to get into racing, you know, you can joggle back and forth. If there's any things that I can't answer about racing stuff, because none of my stuff's set up for racing, this is all my stuff, you know, all my platforms are set up for bashing. Will I race? Maybe. I don't know. I just like bashing. I like the freedom to run any pipe, any motor, modified, what I want, when I want, how I want. Too many restrictions in racing. That's why I don't do it. So, pretty much. Somebody asked me, what is this? It's a 2005 XTM. That's when they came out. XTM Mammoth ST, made by a company called Hobby People that went out of business many years ago. They didn't make a lot of these, unfortunately. If you can find one out there, I mean, I know everything there is about this thing, man. And it's not stock. I put a lot of money into this thing. I've got at least 200 in the center diff alone. Metal gears, hardened steel, aluminum. The towers that hold the middle diff are 70-75 anodized aluminum. The top plate, 70-75 anodized aluminum. Bearings. So just that centerpiece right there was about $200 for me to build it. And I had to look for a lot of the stuff because, like I said, they don't make it. Even the aftermarket parts, I had to get a lot of parts from this thing. Came from Europe, Australia, all over the place. Now, somebody also mentioned the Dynamite 053. That was another comment. Great pipe. This pipe works the best on this motor stock. I've tried this pipe on the modified 28.8. No bueno. It restricted it. I don't know why. It's just, I think it's just because this is more of a mid pipe. It's more of a mid-level pipe. That's what it's for, mid-range. Has a little bit of top end, only because the motor likes to scream, but it's a mid-range motor. I'd say more mid and top. Okay, put it that way. This 053 Dynamite is mid and top. Doesn't have a lot of bottom. If you want bottom, that's the 086. 086 has bottom and mid, a little bit of top. Now, like I mentioned, there's a pipe that I'm getting that's by Triton that has all bottom, crazy bottom, sick mid, and sick top end. The guy that I talked to from RC Renew, the guy that I was telling you guys in the last video that worked for Pico, he dynos everything there. So he's dynoed the 086, he's dynoed end bleeds, and he said this Triton is pretty much similar to you know, the end bleed as far as the specs on it. The only thing is it just doesn't sound as crazy and nasty as the end bleed. I think John really likes the end bleed, not because it just so much outperforms the 9986. I mean, sure it does a little bit, but it's not like it's going to just give your motor a dramatic jump, you know, in power and performance from going from a 9886 Novarossi pipe to an end bleed. John likes that end bleed because that thing will scare E-words, scare children out of the park, dogs will go running. It's from hearing it, yeah, I can't wait to get one. You know, I like I said, I am going to get one, but I haven't even got a 9886 or a Nova or a Dynamite 086 yet. So I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse. Like I said, don't be in a rush, people. Experience everything in the different levels. Everybody wants to start out, oh, I'm a newbie, so I'm going to run out and get an end bleed and a modified motor. Really? And then you're going to put it in my Traxxas. Really? You're asking for it. All I can say is, hey, how many times you got to slam your finger in the car door? Me? Once. Like I said, I blew up one motor. That was it. I never looked back. I learned. This was the motor that came, .25 that came in the Muggy right here. See that there? That's what a rookie with a rotor start and a pull start eventually will get you. Here you go. Right through the side. Matter of fact, I still have the con rod. I think it's on my keychain. And then it went from there to right here. That was the next motor. And I also got a OFNA Hyper 21. Actually, I ran this one first. That was my next motor after I blew that one up. And, you know, .21. But my first real quality motor was one of these babies. Look at that. Zah. This is for Mr. Bodegel. Here, John. Zah. So, that's what the Muggy Maniac, yeah, the 053, it's great stock motors, yeah. Not for Modipod, I wouldn't. Man, you can experience it yourself. Don't take my word. Don't listen to anything I say, people, okay? Do your own research. Do your own homework. Do your own trial and error. That's how you learn. You don't learn from watching people. You learn from doing and making mistakes, finding out why you made a mistake, and hopefully fixing them, okay? That's all I did. Trial and error. I screwed up more stuff than half you guys have got right yet. So, the last 4 years. And, you know, I'm still learning. I have a long way to go, man. I'm not where... man, I've been doing nitro for 4 years, and I'm barely scraping the surface. I'm just, like I said, again, thank you, John Bodegel, for steering me in the right direction. He didn't tell me go get a Traxxas. First thing he told me when I remember talking to him, you need to get a modified motor. And I was not even a year in. He was trying to rush me a little bit. I told him, I said, I'm not ready. But he did say, you know, hey, if you're not ready, then don't. If you're ready, then hey, man, hey, I'll help you out. You know, he did throw it out there. But I was like, nah, I'm not ready for the mods. It's a whole different thing, man. A whole different power plant. A whole different setup. It's a whole different stock to mod, man, it's not even the same. It's a whole nother level. That's why John says that's next level. Modified is next level. But there's even levels above that. Because with great, and I'll leave you guys with this, with great motors or with big motors comes huge responsibility. Bigger responsibility. You're not dealing with no little stock motor. You're not dealing with your pull start or rotor start. Hopefully you're going to bump start, starter box, and bigger motor, then you're going to modify. I don't even suggest start at a .21. It's a great, I had a .21 or .25, .21, then I got a .28, okay? Then I went modded, but, you know, years later. So, there's no finish line, okay? Let's just say that. In Nitro, there is no, and that might seem weird if you're racing. There is no finish line, okay? All right? That's it. It is what it is. You know, and I'm just trying to help people. You know, I was counting just today. There's at least 12 or more new subscribers on my channel, and I think that's really cool. And hey, man, welcome you guys, and I thank you guys for, you know, I don't, like I said, I don't do this for ratings, for all the subscribers. It means more to me than newbies. That's why I'm not worried about, wow, man, I'm getting almost 100 subscribers. Or, wow, man, I had a lot of views, or had a lot of thumbs up, or whatever. I don't care about all that. What I got excited about when I thought about it today, And like I said, that's why I do this, is, man, there's a lot of new guys asking me questions and a lot of new guys subscribing to my channel, and I think it's cool. That's what this is about. That gets me fired up because that shows me that people are taking an interest in nitro again. And if I have anything to do with it, whether I do or don't, whether it's John or whoever else, because there's other guys too that can help you, then, man, I give all the credit to those guys that did it before me. I'm just taking the torch and taking it to a different level and trying to teach people everything and share with people what I learned, what to do, what not to do, how to do it, how not to do it, all that. I do, I'm doing all the mistakes for you guys to keep you from making the mistakes. But, like I said, you still have to learn on your own. I can't take your hand and, the old expression, I can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. I can't make you guys drink my nitro fuel. I can make my vehicles drink nitro fuel because they love guzzling the shit. Especially these bigger motors. And when you get them modified, man, you better stock up on gallons of Byrons. By the way, another quick note, just do yourself a favor, less headaches, especially you new guys. Older guys have been around, they're creatures of habits, and it's hard to break old habits, because they've been running whatever fuel and that's what they like. I run Byrons and that's it, and I've tried all the fuels there is. BP is okay, but it only works well for whatever reason with rice burning motors. My Italian motors spit that shit out. They didn't like it. So I only run Byrons. Run Byrons, next gen, best fuel. You will never have any problems, okay? Now for you older guys that don't want to change to running Byrons, which I think is the best fuel out there, for whatever reason, hey, there's another expression. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, you know what? I call bullshit on that. Yes, you can, if he wants to learn. So on that note, I'm out. I'm gonna get I gotta get my techno. Gotta go over it again because even though, man, it's been another week since I ran. Man, and this once a week running shit sucks. I really don't like it. I like to run at least twice a week, but hey, I'm thankful I get to run once a week. Some of you guys haven't ran in months. Some of you guys haven't even fired up your motor in 2 months probably. And I don't know how you guys are surviving and haven't already sold all your shit and just moved on because, like I said, again, I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars, and I'm not going to spend another 5 or 10 grand this year and have my shit just sit around because of the weather. Hell no. If there's a will, there's a way. I don't care what I gotta do. It's still wet out there. It's still cold. It's still soaking. It probably won't be the warmest tomorrow. It'll probably be 50 or 60. As long as it's not raining, I don't give a shit. We're running nitro tomorrow, period. So stay tuned tomorrow, or stay tuned, because tomorrow there'll be some uploads of some serious brapping going on with Muggy Maniac. We're going to see if we can kill this Techno and kill this Pico. We're going to get these things so freaking muddy. So take a good look at them, all right? Take a good look at this sexy whip right here. This is one sexy bitch, okay? This is no, this is a good Cougar because it's old school, but this is the up-to-date 2019 sexy bitch right here. The Techno NT48.3. Bad-ass machine. John said he was going to build one of these things. I would like to see him build one. I hope they don't come out with a new low-C truggy, because I know that's what he's waiting for. I hope they don't this year, for whatever reason, because I think if John's going to build another truggy platform, he said he'll build a Techno. And I'm going to plug it about him. If you watch this video, John, you said you were going to build one of these. I have it on video. So, I have the evidence. He said he was going to build one. I think he should. John would take one of these to another level too himself. He's never going to jump, one of these unless he gets one off a building. I guess I might have to. So I'm still working on that. Trust me, guys. This thing needs to take flight. If it is what they say it is and how durable it is and how this thing flies through the air, well, that's why I put Superman on here. We just got to let this thing's got to live up to its reputation. But anyway, we're going to get this thing nice and filthy tomorrow. This thing will be so dirty and muddy and nasty. It's a damn shame. But, the Muggy Maniac, that just means that I'm going to have to rip this thing down and clean it and get it showroom shine again. And I don't mind. I love taking care of them. I take pride in my shit. Some people, I wish they would. You know how many guys I see with really nice platforms and they're all fucking tore up, excuse my language? Just, no, okay. If you're lazy, okay, and you don't like to do... Oh, okay, I won't say lazy. If you're a guy that doesn't like to do a lot of the work in Nitro, get out of Nitro. Go do e-work. Do yourself a favor. Unsubscribe to me and whoever else. Go do e-work. This is work. This is dedication, work, challenge, patience. If you don't have any of those things and you're a lazy person, get out of Nitro. Do yourself a favor. Save yourself some money. Save yourself some time, headaches, and all that. Go do e-work. Go get a Traxxas, piece of shit Traxxas or whatever, and run an e-work. No maintenance involved, no nothing. You just charge it, plug it in, and go. If that works for you, do that. But if you want to do Nitro, and I'm just going to keep this real, like I said, my channel will never be blowing smoke up nobody's ass. If you're looking for a pat on the back because you're doing whatever, hey, I'll give credit due when credit's due. And the only credit due that I'm giving out right now are the guys that I see that are doing the work in Nitro. And the only one that I can think of is Raja 111. I'm not saying there isn't other guys doing work, but as far as what I see on the channel, we're the only two guys that are actually, you know, stepping up our game. You know, he's doing the racing thing because he's getting ready to, you know, getting ready for racing. I'm doing the bashing thing, which is right now. Bashing has no season. It's all year round for me anyway. So anyway, that's about it. Another long video. You guys are probably falling asleep or drooling at the mouth or whatever. But I just wanted to, you know, because I had so many responses from the last video, you know, I wanted to kind of just, you know, kind of set the record straight, okay? That's what it is. And also, mainly, I wanted to welcome all these new people. You know, all you new guys, man, hang in there. If you have any questions, you need any help, you need me to find something for you even, I found shit online. I mean, I'm really good at that, man. I've got really good at that. You could say that the Muggy Maniac is / the Indiana Jones of 8-scale Nitro. I have become an archaeologist, which means there's a lot of times, because we don't have the hobby shops like Track Stay Hobbies, like Ray's place over there on Long Island, you have to do it online, and you got to do a lot of searching. That's why it takes a lot of patience in that, too. So I've become it good. If it exists, and it's out there in some warehouse somewhere, I will find it. Okay? But that's about it. If you guys, again, the guys that are hibernating, that are checked out for the winter, you know, and got your platforms as shelf queens and shelf bitches, I call them, just make sure you check the piston that's bottom dead center so you don't jack up your motor. Alright, people, that's all I got, so stay tuned, and we're going to get some wrenching going on right now and prepping, and get this Techno ready to do some serious ripping this weekend. Peace out.